Thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate your time. For everybody, this is Dr. Carolina. We're going to call her doctor today. We agreed on that because she is actually a PhD, a woman in business. I admire you so much for what you've started, and I really appreciate your time today. I think we have a lot of great questions because we want to get into everything, how it all started, how is it going, and what the future plans are. So welcome and thank you again for joining us today. First, I do want to start with maybe a brief introduction. We want to hear a little bit more about you. Where did you grow up? How did you get into science? Because you are a PhD. Is your degree in science specifically?
Yes, I got a major in biochemistry, a PhD in stem cell biology and tissue engineering. And thank you so much for having me, Desi. I'm so excited for this conversation. Happy to share more about myself and my background. I grew up in Brazil, and since I was young, I was always passionate about science. And I was also passionate about helping people, and I believe that through science, I could help people to live better, age better, hopefully cure some diseases. So that's what drove me to be a scientist in the first place. And then when I got my PhD in this area of stem cell biology and tissue engineering, I saw so many potential applications. And that when I started to think about translating the science that I was developing in academia to bring something into people, bring something to the market. And so I joined like 3 other co-founders. So the company is actually founded by 4 PhDs, women. And one of the things that we were doing at that time, we were growing human tissues in the lab. So we were growing different types of tissues from like skin to heart to retina. And we were using these many human tissues to test like products and new drugs that were being developed. And eventually we started to focus more on skin. We got more traction, more interest from the cosmetic industry because they were looking for alternative methods to test their products and not testing animals. So initially, these skins that we were growing would be good alternatives for animal testing. And as we developed our expertise in growing skins, we were also simulating the skin aging. And then we started testing anti-aging products to measure if those products that were in the market can actually, reverse aging. And that's when we found that many products that are out there claiming to be anti-aging, they're actually causing more toxicity and inflammation and potentially accelerating aging instead of like reversing aging. What we also saw is that a lot of products, they were actually good in terms of hydration, improving the barrier of the skin, but they were not able to reverse the skin age at the molecular level. And what we also saw is that the science of aging has evolved so much in the past 10, 15 years. We now understand the main mechanisms that are driving aging. And all of these products that were in the market, they were not using this new science to target aging. They were mainly addressing the symptoms of aging, the fine lines, the wrinkles, just to try to minimize the symptoms, but not going to the cause. And we knew that there was a better way that could target aging at the cellular level, could reverse aging in a way that we could measure. And that's when we shift our approach from testing product to now trying to find the new molecules that could target aging in the skin and promote this age reversal. So that's how we got to OneSkin. And one interesting thing that also made me so excited about this field is that when you think about, diseases and getting old and all the things that we experience in life, aging is the main risk factor for us to, start decaying health, right? The older that we are, the higher the chances that we have to develop some, diseases or...
No, and that's really a valid point that I occasionally get from my audience, that specific comment: why don't you want to age gracefully? Why do you want to look young? And actually technically implying that this is a vanity thing, right? That you wanting to look younger is a vanity thing. And I'm trying to explain to everybody that this has nothing to do with wanting to look young. Number one, it's a psychological thing, obviously, because it gives you more confidence, looking better, feeling better. But also, yes, absolutely, having younger looking skin means actually healthy looking skin as well. So that's a great point that I've never actually pivoted that way, but I'm going to use your thoughts from now
Yeah.
on because that's a super valid point.
Yeah, and for us, it's exactly this. We saw that by targeting aging primarily at the cellular level, we could improve the health and the function of the skin, and consequently, we're going to improve your appearance. So, a biologically younger skin is also a better looking, youthful skin. And in the end, what do we want? We want a skin that's strong, that's able to protect our body, that's resilient, right? When we're out and about, we don't want our skin to be sensitive, to be irritated, reacting to a lot of things. We want a skin that can handle all the stressors that we are exposed. And that's what we can achieve if we address what's like driving aging damage at the cellular level. And then the outcome is that you're going to look, better. And I agree with you. In the end, this psychological impact is also really meaningful. And people that feel good about themselves, that feel optimistic about their age, they also live longer, they have lower stress, chronic diseases. And so I like to tie all of this together because at the end, that's a big passion of mine, to connect skin with our overall health.
And that's what I always say. I always say, okay, I look better. I'm going to feel better. My confidence level rises, right? Goes up. So, from a psychological standpoint, I feel happier. And happy people are more productive in society. So, let's face it, looking better makes you a more productive and more useful human being to society at large. So, I think it's a very shallow looking, very shallow understanding of psychology to think, oh, yeah, why am I paying $100 for a product that's gonna just make me look younger? It goes so much deeper than that. But I really want to just kind of talk a little bit more about the science because my channel is more about science rather than looking good and slapping something on your face like hyaluronic acid or vitamin C that's just going to plump the skin and temporarily make you look good. When we talk about what you guys created and what you patented, the OS01 peptide, it's actually on a cellular level. So it permanently removes senescent cells or works towards removing senescent cells, which technically age you. And everybody now is talking about senescent cells. A few other companies have picked up, but nobody has what you guys have created because this is patented. It's your formula. How did you come to actually, well, number one, why is it named OS01? I have to know about that. How did you come up with that name? I know that you guys went through hundreds of different peptides until you discovered this one specifically. Yeah. And also, I have to say, I love that you're calling it supplements. Mm-hmm. Because yes, it addresses the root cause of aging, but is it the only thing you need? No, and you have other ingredients here. I want to touch base on that as well. And also, I really, really want to know, how is it working with 3 other smart, educated, powerful women? There's 4 of you guys. That's a lot of energy there. I really want to hear about that.
Yeah, so let's start there. Well, building this company with excuse me, 3 other smart women was like a privilege. I felt so empowered and proud of what we could achieve, where we got together, and we all like complement each other in terms of our expertise, but we also have like different traits in terms of personalities, and all of that was like very important for us to get to something different and innovative. And so I think learning how to work together despite the differences, but leaning on everyone like strength was really important. Today, I also feel so proud that I think 70% of our team is still women, or maybe more. And we
wow, that's amazing.
Incredible women on like product development, on, still developing, pushing the science forward, on marketing, on finance. And so I feel really, really proud to be this women-led company. And interesting enough, when we had a company retreat recently, we asked like what was one of the main things that made people to join OneSkin, and a lot of people said, I want to work for a women-led company because I've been in those like male dominant culture and I didn't feel included. I didn't feel heard. And I never experienced that because this is my first company, but I felt that I had like a really important role in like, opening the space for more women to feel like heard and included. So that was really exciting to hear. Going back to the science, so as you said, we decided to focus on targeting these aging cells that accumulate in our skin. They also accumulate in our body. They're called like senescent or zombie cells. So basically these are cells that stop functioning well, they stop dividing, and the main problem of these zombie cells is that they start secreting inflammatory signals that induce the cells around to age faster, just like a rotten apple, right? I think you mentioned, your audience knows. But the more of these zombie cells, the more inflammation we have, the more collagen degradation, and then the more fine lines, wrinkles, a weaker skin barrier. So our hypothesis is how we can, reduce the amount of those aging cells in the skin. We spent about 5 years just testing hundreds of peptides, over 900 peptides to be more specifically, until we found OS1. We call it OS1. And OS1 was the peptide that had the greatest effect in reducing up to 40-50% the load of senescent cells in the skin. And by doing that, it reduces inflammation, it allows for a stronger collagen production, it restores your skin barrier. And what OS1 is doing is basically activating the skin cells' natural DNA repair system. So we all have our very good, efficient repair system in our bodies, but they degrade as we age. And our peptide basically comes and like boosts that repair system, so we don't accumulate those damaged, old cells that start like causing aging in our skin and our body. So by doing that, we can see that we actually reverse the age of the skin. We can quantify the skin's, what we call skin's biological age, and we can measure that we could reduce in the lab 2.5 years in the age of the skin with this peptide.
2.5, that's a significant number. And 40%, by the way, reducing senescent cells by 40% is a huge number,
Yes.
I have to say. And I've shared this with my audience before. These are real numbers. When you hear, oh, this improves your skin hydration by 300%, this is a ridiculous number. In science, you can't have this. Now, going back to one of my questions, you do call it a supplement. And I love that. I love that you're calling it a supplement, because you're technically saying, well, you need this, but this removes technically one side of the problem, but you still need other things. Mm-hmm. So what else do you have inside the bottle in addition to the OS1 peptides?
And just to explain why we call it a supplement, our goal, as I said before, is that we want to enhance the health of your skin. And so in the same way that you take supplements to improve your health internally, why we don't have a supplement for a largest organ, right? An organ that's vital, it's important for our overall health. And in order to differentiate our products from other brands, we believe that calling it a topical supplement would reflect better the intention of this product. That's really to restore the function, the health of the skin. But as you said, it's really hard to do everything with one molecule only. So we know that our peptide works really well on repairing the damage and reducing the number of those zombie cells, but the skin still need other more support in terms of hydration, in terms of antioxidants, in terms of reducing inflammation. So we combined OS1 with a series of ingredients that are complementing these benefits. And so we have different types of hyaluronic acid, some that are high molecular weight, they stay on the top of the skin, prevent water loss, and some that are actually low molecular weight that can enter in the skin and can activate our own skin to produce more hyaluronic acid. So you are not only preventing water loss, but you are increasing hydration internally, the content of, water that we retain inside our skin. Then we have some Amazon oils that are very anti-inflammatory, antioxidants. We have allantoin that's very soothing. So a lot of our products, they're suitable for people with sensitive skin. All of them have the NEA approval, the National Eczema Association to make sure that it's safe for sensitive skin for people with eczema. And so all of them are very gentle, so anyone could use those products, and even if you have sensitive skin. On top of that, a lot of antioxidants. We have vitamin E, and in the face product we don't have vitamin C, but on the sunscreen we do have a very stable form of vitamin C, and we actually compared the level of antioxidant in our sunscreen and other vitamin C serums, and we saw that they were very comparable. So that means that you could potentially replace your vitamin C if you use the sunscreen, because it has already a good amount of vitamin C and other antioxidants like green tea, acai extract, etc. So we do quantify the ability of this product to neutralize free radicals comparing to other vitamin C serums.
That's interesting. So technically, the sunscreen contains an antioxidant by itself as well. So
Yes.
it fights free radicals in so many different ways. Number one, it has zinc oxide because it fights the UV radiation that way, but it also contains vitamin C and green tea, which are the other two most popular antioxidants. This is amazing. I actually didn't know. I should have done my homework on the sunscreen specifically, but that's really good to know. And I know the sunscreen comes in a non-tinted and a tinted version. I like both. Just for, I think my audience already knows this, and I obviously use both of them. So congratulations on that. That's very interesting. I am not a big fan of vitamin C as a separate serum, but if it's in my sunscreen, that's actually amazing. That's great.
Yeah,
Now,
and our goal, as I said, is to try to simplify people's skincare routine for those who want. So again, if you can use one less product and already have the vitamin C antioxidants there, that's great.
I am glad that you brought up the anti-inflammatory effect of your products, because a lot of people talk about the sun aging you, but I think the biggest culprit, in addition to the sun, is also inflammation to the skin.
Yeah.
That is, for me, probably it's even because I can avoid the sun. But inflammation is kind of, it's tough to pinpoint what is causing inflammation. I can put sunscreen, I can put a hat, I can shield myself, I don't need to go outside, so I can prevent the damage, the UV radiation damage. But inflammation is a little bit more difficult to battle, and it seems like your product, OneSkin, targets exactly that. So this is great news for everyone. This is how we fight inflammation. And I don't think in the industry we talk a lot about inflammation. We really don't. I mean, there's some companies that actually claim that their products repair DNA, but they never explain the mechanism through which. And this is clear science. I don't think that putting a couple of flower extracts in your product will actually reverse or repair your DNA. That's more what I call voodoo science. But this is very clear, straightforward. This is fighting senescent cells, it's anti-inflammatory, and this is how it's reversing aging. And I love that. Thank you for sharing.
And all of it, we have the data to back up all of these claims. So as I said, the peptide, when we measure the effect in the skin and we see that fight senescent cells, we always measure inflammation, and inflammation always needs to go down. We measure genes that are associated with aging, and we see those genes going down, and then we see again collagen going up. So all of this is measured in our studies, and is also published in our scientific papers. So for those who are curious, we have on our website and our blog, so you can search any of this and you can find like the data behind it.
Now I think we're all kind of curious at this point to know exactly what your skincare routine looks like, morning, night. Can you take us step by step?
Yep, definitely. And it's very simple. I think I've been in the 8-step skincare routine. I remember when I moved here to San Francisco, I went to a dermatologist and she prescribed me like 8 different products, and my skin was honestly a mess. And was interesting that during the pandemic, then when I started like stop using much makeup, and then I let my skin like kind of rest and restore. And then we also, in parallel, we were developing our products for OneSkin. I started testing like the initial creams and versions, and my skin started to become a lot more even, stronger. And now I use a little bit of makeup here and there, but I don't feel that I need to cover a lot. It's like, so it's the best feeling. So okay, let's start at night. night. So first I wash my face with our cleanser prep. It's a gentle cleanser. It has also some mild exfoliants to help like remove the dead cells, the dirt, the impurities, without drying out your skin or disrupting your skin microbiome. Gentle cleanser, simple. I don't do double cleansing. I know that a lot of people like. I sometimes I do use a toner just to kind of remove a little bit more of like the dead cells. And then I go with the face moisturizer, the topical supplement, OS1 topical supplement. That's our main product, and all over my face, neck, hands, and then I apply the eye cream around the, under and above your my eyes, my eyelids. And the eye cream, I don't know if you know, but it has a higher concentration of the peptide, and we from our studies it increases collagen production almost 3 times more than skins that were not treated, and 2 times more than the skins that were treated with the face moisturizer. So it's the most potent formula that we have. In the clinical studies, we have seen like the strongest data in improving elasticity, reducing fine lines and wrinkles, and even, as I said, like on the eyelids that start to droop over time, a lot of people see kind of, a little bit of a lifting effect. So
that's a very common actually question on my channel. How do you fix the eyelids? Because not a lot, actually almost no product on the market when it comes to topical skincare products can reverse aging there.
Yeah.
And it's funny you said that the eye cream is more concentrated 3 times. I think people are going to start using the eye cream all over now. Everybody starts buying just the eye cream.
Some people already do that, so it's okay if they wanna splurge. And then the last piece that of my skincare routine, which is now it's the newest product that we launched, is our scalp serum. So this it's something that we just launched, and for us, why we developed this product in the first place? Your scalp is a continuation of your skin, right? And if those senescent cells are accumulating in our skin, they are also accumulating in our scalp. They are accumulating the hair follicles, and they are basically compromising our hair growth. They are associated with hair thinning, and it could be one of the major causes of hair thinning and shedding. And I noticed that over the years, my, the volume, the density of my hair has decreased significantly, and I want to try to, protect it and restore it and kind of, recover as much as possible the density. So I do use the scalp serum every night. It's like the new addition to my routine. And so going to the morning now, pretty simple. I don't usually wash my face again because my face is kind of clean already from the night before. Some people that have more oily skin, they may use the cleanser again, but I don't need to. And then so after, I usually work out in the morning. I come back, I take a shower, I apply the body moisturizer, which is the OS1 body supplement, which is like one that people are obsessed.
Yes.
It's a lighter lotion, but very hydrating. So it doesn't feel like sticky, but people have seen amazing results, like people that are experiencing more crepiness or thinning skin or discoloration. This is like one of the products that we are so proud about because it's really meeting an unmet need in the market. Like there isn't like a body lotion to target aging the skin. A lot of brands focus on the face, but like we want to treat your whole skin and we want to make sure that we're taking care of your whole body. So body lotion after shower, and then I come with the face moisturizer again, sunscreen, and that's it. And I'm done for the day. I'm ready.
That's a pretty simple
Yeah.
routine, and it's obviously working. So congratulations. I mean, I've been using. I started with the face, with the topical supplement for the face, and then I started adding on. And I also can attest to that. I have a brand new one for the body. Just finished my first one, so I'm about to open this one. But I can attest. For me, the biggest thing about the body lotion is that it doesn't feel greasy on the skin, and I can put my clothes on on immediately and then work throughout the day, obviously, or at night. And this one sinks in immediately.
Yeah.
So that's great from that standpoint. And then you have also the sunscreens as well for the body and the face. Yeah, that's great. Yes. So when it comes to the hair serum, I do have to say I've tested everything popular on the market when it comes to hair growth. I have genetics in my family, and everybody starts losing their hair when they're in their 30s. I am the only one. I'm 49. I'm the only one who actually still has my hair. My brother is completely bald. My father, I don't even remember him ever having hair. My mom lost most of her hair. So on both sides, genetic hair loss, which is very difficult to. You can't argue with genetics, right? So, but I tested everything. This year for me has been the year for hair growth, and a lot of people have noticed that I have substantially more hair, which I do. Bigger, it's denser, and this is one of the biggest contributors. I just launched actually a video on the 5 best hair loss, hair growth serums, we're gonna call them, and OneSkin is definitely in the top 5 out of the 15 popular that I have been trying for the last few years. So because obviously with just like with everything, even skincare, you have to give it a little bit of time, right?
Yeah.
So, but this I was impressed after 45 days. 45 days, and I started seeing a little bit of
hair.
well, the biggest thing for me is I notice how much hair I have on my bathroom floor. That's the biggest indicator. If I see a lot of hair, I'll get, I'm losing my hair. But I started seeing less and less, almost no hair, and that's obviously the biggest indicator. And then you start seeing little hairs, growing here and here, which we're always afraid of the Phil Collins effect that you start losing hair. That's the biggest nightmare. So but congratulations on launching this beautiful product. I know it comes with a derma roller. I have to say I've not used the derma roller at all. I don't see it necessary. I do apply it on, I wash my hair almost every day, at least 5 times. So I do apply it on fresh, wet hair. Yeah, because it doesn't have a scent. It's not greasy. It's pretty much like water. And I love that. So this works. So congratulations on launching this.
No, thank you.
We're very happy you did.
Again, we've been getting a lot of great feedback, and as you said, it takes time. I'm glad that you see results with 45 days. Usually we say at least 3 months, but the best results that we got from our clinical studies is actually 6 months. After 6 months, we saw 40% increase in density, and I think 42% increase in the hair thickness. So, the hair that was thinning, now it's getting thicker and stronger again. So these are also like numbers that we feel really excited about. We did test compared with minoxidil. In a lot of those metrics, our products was better than minoxidil.
And minoxidil comes with a lot of side effects, right? A lot of side effects. I mean, I hear that actually something like half of the people who take minoxidil, and you have to take it constantly. This is not like you take it for 3 months and you stop. You have to take it for at least a year and then continue. But a lot of people actually grow facial hair. They see more hair on their body with oral medication, and it's prescription, so it's expected to have side effects.
No side effects. This is safe for people who want to use a non-drug based product. So postpartum people that are can't use any drug based like minoxidil, for example.
Yeah, I would be hesitant. I feel an Advil when I take it. So I cannot imagine. And by the way, a lot of people have also been asking me, and I would like your stand on it, but there's other oral supplementation, over the counter oral supplementation that's kind of popular now. I have to say, for me, I have, and this is the first time that I'm admitting this on camera, but I have IBS. And for a lot of people, IBS means different things. But I get my stomach gets bloated and upset every time I put something wrong in my body. And unfortunately, over-the-counter supplementation is really, really bad for my stomach. I cannot take any of those. The simplest form of biotin is the only thing that I can take. I can tolerate that. But all the other supplements, over-the-counter supplements, what is yours? I mean, they're not regulated, obviously, because they're not a drug. So should we believe those claims that some of those companies are putting on, and how does this compare to those oral over-the-counter supplementation?
Yeah. So first of all, different kind of administration pathways, right? This goes straight to your scalp. The supplement is gonna go through all of your body, and it could impact your hair growth. And there are some companies that run a lot of clinical studies, and they have the data to back up how much the supplement impacts like hair growth. I think two things that I would be cautious and maybe talk to your physician. One is the amount of certain ingredients that it could potentially be over the dose that's safe for you. So you need to make sure that you're not gonna overcharge your organs, your liver, etc. Two, for me, because I'm still like in this reproductive phase, we're trying to get pregnant, so some of the ingredients, they can alter like your hormone production. So the most common one is like saw palmetto that will actually influence like DHT, and so you want to make sure that this is not impacting your overall hormonal levels in a way that you don't want based on your your life goals. I would say that there are versions that are vegan, and it could be better suited for some people, and they could help. As you said, hair thinning and hair loss, it's very hard. And so for people that are going through that, they are trying everything. And so if you are consulting with a physician, and if they think that you should like also continue to do your labs to make sure that the things are not like changing in a bad way. But I would be cautious, but I would, if I'm, want to try the options that are out there, I would be willing to try and make sure that I'm, supporting my hair growth in the best way that I can, but with like this note of caution.
Thank you for that. Yeah, I had forgotten about the soy palmetto. Yeah, that's and anything that affects your hormones, by the way, as a woman, I have to attest, you don't touch your hormones. Because even though we may complain a couple of weeks out of the month, once you start to, I've been on that journey. I was trying to be a bodybuilder at some point. Well, not really, but I was trying to get really in shape. And my gyno actually suggested, well, we need to test your hormones, then we'll change a few things so you can bulk up. Women cannot bulk up, by the way. I get also that question very, very often. How do I get muscle? You can't. As a woman, you can't. But they put me on these hormones, and it completely wreaked havoc to my whole system. So I had to drop everything. It's very, very, don't change your hormones. I'm very afraid of stuff like that. And also, over the counter medication, once again, it's not regulated by any government. It's not governmented by the FDA in this country. So it's sort of dangerous, especially if you don't know what ingredients you're taking and you're putting inside your body. So I appreciate you cautioning us on that.
Yeah.
One last very important big question, because there was a direct comparison of the OSO1 peptide on website, direct comparison to retinoids and retinol and different variations of retinol. So we're curious because retinols have actually been studied, and retinoids have been studied for a very, very long time. The effectiveness has been obviously proven in a way by many, many different studies. So what is the approach here? Can we combine? Can we substitute? Can this replace? And what is the best approach when it comes to retinoids? And a lot of people are actually sensitive or allergic to the type of retinoic acid that's in most retinoids. So can you please elaborate a little bit?
So let's start there. I think retinol, a lot. It's usually a more aggressive treatment. There are different strengths, and you could obviously start with like the lower dose. But if you go to tretinoin, like the prescription base, the retinoic acid, the ones that are really strong, that's gonna make you peel out. A lot of people are sensitive and they cannot tolerate. So what I would say for people that are sensitive, like don't try too much, because you are really damaging your skin, and you are overcharging your skin. For people that can't tolerate, retinol works in a very different way that our peptide does. So retinol basically will induce like cell renewal, will bind into retinol receptors and will induce like the upper layers of your skin to come out. You're gonna grow like a fresher, a newer skin. So that will help your skin to look like smoother and younger. It's not like necessarily addressing the aging cells that are underneath. So it's a different mechanism that for a lot of people can help you to achieve a youthful looking. I would be cautious again on like the redness, the irritation. So if you're new to it, alternate and really pair it with a product that's going to counteract the side effects, like the potential irritation. So our product, for example, is very soothing, anti-inflammatory. So it does pair really well with retinol. And sometimes for people that are more sensitive, I would even apply our product first because you have a layer of like protection and then you come with the retinol. Sometimes I do this with myself. If I feel that for example, now in the summer, if I feel that my skin it's more exposed, I don't want to go with retinol right away. I want to have a layer and then I apply the retinol on top.
That's what I always do, by the way. I always apply the serum, the peptide serum, whatever kind of a serum I'm using for that night. Usually it's going to be this one. And then after that, I would apply any sort of. I stopped tretinoin for a while. I'm testing retinols right now, but I always apply, and I've been using retinol for a very, very long time. Even though I don't experience sensitivity anymore, I still apply the retinol as my last serum.
Yeah, and that's a way that you can keep your skin again, protected, resilient. I also alternate between, maybe a stronger version, and I'm testing now retinol that seems again a more tolerable, less, irritative, and is still very effective. So you can combine. I would just again be cautious if you're experiencing inflammation to not overdo it. And because when we tested in the lab retinol to compare with our peptide, we do see inflammation going up. We see collagen going up. But as you said, like we need to be careful about inflammation, and we need to be careful of how much we are insulting our skin in some ways. And
yeah. Abusing.
Exactly.
I love to say that I love to abuse my skin because I test a lot of products, but I have learned, what is enough. When my skin says, okay, no more, then I go back to simplifying and maybe using just one product. And this is why I love that you guys call this a supplement, because a supplement means that you can combine it with anything else and it will pair very well, especially with retinol. So thank you for that. This is a beautiful product. Now, one last question. What is next for you and the company? I mean, we have face products, eye products, we have body products, sunscreen. Now we have hair. What is next? What is the next big thing that's coming out for OneSkin? What is the next step?
Yeah. So we have two fronts of innovation. One, it's like to continue to evolve in finding new molecules, new peptides that can continue to target aging and reverse aging, even in a more significant way. So we have our OS1 peptide. It's awesome, but we want something better. So we are always, pushing the bar higher, and we want to bring something better to our community. The other part is on product innovation. We still know that we are not addressing everyone's needs. So some people want something richer for their skin, a little, more moisturizing for winters, for drier skin. Some people want things that are a little lighter that can apply, in different steps of their routine. So we are working in different innovations that I can't share yet, but they'll be coming up next year. And actually, we do have one innovation that's coming up this year. I don't know if you tested already. We launched a lip SPF. Have you tried the lip SPF yet?
Yes, yes, I do have it. I love it. I have tested it. Yes, absolutely. I forgot to bring it, so it's not in front of me. That's why it skipped my mind.
Yeah, so this is one that's working. I mean, people are loving it because it's really hard to find a lip SPF that doesn't taste like horrible, that actually, looks good on your lips and it gives you like a nice kind of glow. So the reviews are incredible. And then we're developing something also more hydrating for the lips that should come out soon. Not only to, repair but also to hopefully increase a little bit more, restore your volume, and yeah, so that's
Because as we age, unfortunately, our lips become thinner and drier. The discoloration obviously
yeah,
appears. You lose color, and you kind of become that prunish raisin effect of the lips.
yeah,
So without going to the dermatologist to get filler, we want something more. And I absolutely hate the products that are called the lip plumpers. I can't stand those. They usually smell like a toothpaste and they tingle and they
yeah.
just smell bad. Who wants to have toothpaste on their lips, all day long? I personally don't.
Yeah. And as you pointed out, like our lips are gonna age as well. And I honestly, didn't use like SPF in my lips, and it's like the biggest, factor that's causing aging, right? And so now I'm
Yes,
happy that we have this SPF, and during the day I'm always trying to apply, so I make sure that I'm protecting my lips from aging,
exactly.
reduce.
Yes. I don't think, just like you, I think none of us actually are used to applying SPF on our lips. And our lips are even more sensitive than our skin or our face.
Yeah.
So, if anything, this is the first place that you should be putting SPF.
Yeah, the skin is
Also,
thinner. It's like we have like fewer layers that we have around our cheeks, and so it doesn't have like the glands, the oil that keeps it hydrated. So it's definitely more vulnerable, and we kind of neglected because yeah, it takes a while for you to see the signs, but when they come, yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Well, that's great. Well, congratulations on a very successful endeavor. How long have you guys been in business now?
nine,
I
nine
forgot.
years.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, next
But
year will be 10 years, and we have a lot of cool things coming up. But yeah, it's been a long journey, a journey that's like really focused on, the science, developing the best products to make sure that we are bringing something that's like impactful and meaningful to our community.
that is very exciting. And for those of you who have not had a chance to test the OneSkin products to see the effects, we are doing actually a giveaway today. So check the description box for all details on how to qualify. But another giveaway. So excited for one of you lucky winners to get to experience these beautiful products, as this is my favorite topic, the science of it all. And I love talking about science, actual science, when it comes to skincare, and with actually a real life scientist. Wow, it's been such a pleasure. Thank you so much. This has been very, very informative. I have to say one last thing. This is my observation. This is what I've experienced before every time I use this. I feel like when I continue with the skincare after I'm done with this product, my skincare works a little bit better. My skin is smoother. The effects are there. So this definitely works, and I love the science. I love how you explain it. Thank you so much for being on my channel today.
Thank
Thank
you,
you. Thank
Desi.
you.
Yeah, this was a fun conversation. Thanks for having me.